Welcome to Chicago Cubs baseball on CSN, presented to you by State Farm. Overcast night here in Cincinnati. It's the first of a 4-game weekend set between the Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. Great to have you with us. Alongside Jim Deshaies, I'm Len Casper. Cubs won 2 of 3 in St. Louis. They'll start the 4-gamer tonight. And a few years ago, JD, the Reds dominated the Cubs, but it has really changed the last couple years.
Yeah, from 2010 through 2014, the Reds won the season series each year. They went 60-28 against the Cubs during that stretch, but it has turned around dramatically. The Cubs have won the last 6 meetings between these two clubs, 13-6 last year, 3-0 with that sweep on the homestand. So 16-6 under Joe Madden against these Redlegs.
It's Jake Arrieta night, so can we just chalk up a W?
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, it's been unbelievable what we've seen from Arrieta. We tend to take him for granted, and here's why. Because every time he goes out there, he pitches lights out. Saturday against the Rockies, it was 8 innings of shutout ball. He allowed 5 hits, 1 walk. Now, Brandon Finnegan, in his start against the Cubs, took a no-hitter deep into that ball game, went 6 2/3 before giving up his first hit.
All right, the Cubs have the best record in this division, leading the Reds and the Cardinals by 3 games. The Reds, not a lot of expectations, but they come in 8 up and 7 down through 15. 3 of their losses came at Wrigley Field as the Cubs had their season opening homestand last week. We'll see what transpires here in Ohio next.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Garages have many uses. So use yours in the best way possible with amazing deals on terrific Honda products, like the all-new, more powerful Honda Civic with improved ride and handling, plus a roomier interior. Winner gets to drive.
The Honda Dream Garage sales event is happening now. And you've got a garage to fill.
The Honda Dream Garage sales event is almost over, so don't miss out. Now at your Honda dealer.
Wendy's Jalapeno Fresco Spicy Chicken. The sandwich that almost wasn't. Because with ghost pepper sauce, fresh jalapenos, pepper jack cheese, and a red jalapeno bun, focus group said,
nobody will want a sandwich this spicy, right?
But focus groups have been wrong before.
Nobody will want a camera that makes phone calls, right?
So Wendy's thanked them and launched it anyway, and even doubled down with ghost pepper fries. So if you're hot for spice, I love it, then these are for you.
Don't just go out. Dogs go out. Cable goes out. Go live.
David Kaplan back in our downtown Chicago studios. Get you back out to the Queen City. First pitch between the Cubs and the Reds in just a bit. Here's Joe Madden before tonight's game, talking about the great chemistry on his first place club.
Our guys like each other. They enjoy each other. Like yesterday, for 3.5 hours, we sat in that locker room before he came out to conclude that game, and we were ready to play. I'm telling you, the whole time I'm sitting there waiting on it. It was like time passed quickly. Nobody was like bemoaning anything. Nobody was crying about it. They were just waiting, getting ready to play. As soon as we said kick off at 5:55 or 6 o'clock, they were ready, man. They were absolutely ready to go. So of all the things that happened in St. Louis over the last 3 days, whatever, that to me was the most impressive thing that we did. The fact that we came out and played like we did and almost pulled it out.
Cubbies send their ace to the bump this evening. Jake Arrieta tossed 8 scoreless last Saturday against the Rockies, extending his scoreless inning streak at Wrigley Field to 48 1/3. That's the longest streak in the 103-season history of the ballpark. Arrieta looks to become the first Cub to win his first 4 starts since Greg Maddux turned that trick in 06. Joe Madden wouldn't mind waiting out the weather to ensure 9 consecutive innings of baseball.
It's never fun. when you're in this particular position. For me, a night like tonight, if you have to wait to start the game, you prefer waiting as opposed to starting and stopping kind of a thing. So hopefully we'll be able to look at the weather map and be able to determine what that means. And I don't care if you sit an hour and a half, sit 2 hours if you have to, but it's better than starting and stopping when it comes to, when you have a pitcher, all pitchers, but, you don't want to mess with Jake right now.
That is going to put a ribbon on it from our downtown Chicago studios. Up next, Len and JD have the call, the Cubs and the Reds at Great American Ballpark. I will see you after for the post-game show with Todd Hollingsworth. See you then.
For the we in team. That's why we're here. This week, get great deals on the best brands like Nike, Under Armour, Easton, and more. Only at Sports Authority.
With T-Mobile, you pay $95 a month for a smaller network, and monthly taxes and fees are always extra. With Cricket, you get an unlimited plan on a bigger network for $65 a month after $5 autopay credit, and monthly taxes and fees are always included. Looks like T-Mobile's not all it's cracked up to be. And now, for a limited time, switch to Cricket and get a $50 bill credit. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
If tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. So the rain has stopped. We got a downpour for about an hour that canceled Cubs batting practice today. And Jake Arrieta is a creature of habit. Takes him about 40 minutes to get ready to pitch. So let's hear from his manager on if you have rain before a Jake Arrieta start.
I'd prefer starting someone else if you really, really are confused by the weather. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's really important on a night like tonight that you let the rain pass as much as you can and look for that clear opportunity to play. Because with any pitcher, you don't want to do. I don't want anybody to be confused by that. Right. But tonight with Jake pitching, I really would like to prevent the up and down situation. Pitch for 2 innings, wait for 45. Those are the kind of things with any pitcher. Really, it concerns me.
Well, the good news is we will start on time, and it will be Jake Arrieta to take the ball. But first, it's Brandon Finnegan, a left-hander for the Reds. And look at this, 23 consecutive quality starts. Jake with an ERA of under 1. So we were thinking, when's the last time you saw a stretch quite like this? And you got to go back to the Bob Gibson 67-68.
Yeah, the Hall of Famer Gibson had 26 consecutive quality starts. Of course, 1968, the year of the pitcher, he finished with a 1.12 ERA, and the next year they lowered the mound. So the game was a little bit different then. So I guess in that context, what Arrieta has done probably even a little bit more impressive than what Gibson did. Although Gibson in his stretch had a ton of complete games.
Let's get the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. It is Dexter Fowler off to a hot start. He's in center. Jason Hayward in right. Chris Bryant will play third tonight. Anthony Rizzo with a home run stolen away and then hit another one into the seats yesterday. Soler in left. Ben Zobrist plays second. Addison Russell had a big series against the Reds last week. And it's Ross and Arrieta making up the Cubs battery.
The Reds defensively tonight. No Billy Hamilton. You see Schebler in center field, flanked by Duvall in left, Bruce in right. Suarez, the third baseman, has committed 5 errors already this year. That's tied for the most in Major League Baseball. Cozart, a solid. Phillips, outstanding. He and Votto have been paired over there forever, seemingly. Devin Mesoraco is the catcher tonight. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for Cincinnati is Brandon Finnegan, the young left-hander. 1-0. He's made 3 starts, has a 2.04 ERA. League hitting just 129 against him. He's had to pitch around some walks. But there's the boys. The boys are out grazing. They're ready to go.
And tonight's umpires, Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, will call balls and strikes. Greg Gibson at first, Ed Hickox at second, and Mike Estabrook over at third.
So it's Finnegan versus Arrieta. It's a battle of Horned Frogs. A couple of TCU alums doing the pitching here tonight.
Fowler batting right-handed. He swings at the first pitch, sends it deep to center. Schebler's back. It's over his head. He plays the carom perfectly, and that'll be a standing double for Fowler. If that ball gets by Scott Schebler, it's at least a triple.
Fowler has been nothing short of spectacular here in the early going. On base 3 times yesterday, 3 times the day before. First pitch of the ball game, boom, immediately he's got Finnegan in the stretch with a man in scoring position. Before these folks could even settle in with their chili dogs.
Here's Jason Hayward. And he takes a strike in that 3-game series in St. Louis. He went 1 for 12. He played stellar defense.
Yeah, hit a number of balls hard too. So the quality of the at-bats not reflected by the results.
And he breaks his bat on a liner off the tarp and into the seats foul. 2 strikes on him. Finnegan just turned 23 years old a few days ago, and cool but clear at the moment and overcast, and hopefully that's it for the rain.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the forecast other than what we heard before the game, and what we were told was that it would rain about an hour before the game and then let up, and would be in pretty good shape, and so far that has held true. Finnegan likes to sink his fastball. He'll max out around 95, sit comfortably at 92. An improved changeup, and one he's really relying on heavily, and also throws a slider.
Here's the 0-2 pitch.
And there's some funk in that delivery too, which would add a little deception.
Was working on a gem at Wrigley Field a week ago Monday, the Cubs home opener, his 6th career start. He did not give up a hit until there were 2 outs in the 7th. And David Ross with a base hit. He exited the game with a 3-0 lead and ended up charged with 2 runs. And Addison Russell hit the big game-winning 3-run homer in the 8th inning off Jumbo Diaz, who's back in the minor leagues. Reds having all kinds of bullpen issues as Hayward strikes out. But they have found a way to go 8-7 through 15, even though they had to make a change in the 9th inning. Going to go closer by committee, and they've had a lot of trouble keeping leads.
With Aroldis Chapman now in Yankee pinstripes, I think Brian Price knew that the bullpen would be a bit of an unsettled situation here early, and they're just trying to figure it out as they go along.
Chris Bryant, the batter, and the pitch. Outside for ball 1. Just getting his career started. Won the National League Rookie of the Year last year. He has loved hitting at Wrigley Field. He's got a career OPS of 1,021. It's under 700 on the road. That could change, and it might change right here. It is gone. Take that, road OPS. It's 2-0.
Good setup. All right, splits are so big. Sooner or later he's going to pick it up on the road. You can see with a young player there'd be a comfort level in his home ballpark. At the end of the day, this guy's going to put up very good numbers, regardless of where he plays. So boom, double and big fly. Man, pretty stroke. Quick, compact, and explosive. It's your Ford home run replay. Number 3 for Chris on the year.
So Jake Arrieta with an early lead as Rizzo airs it out and fouls for strike 1. Homer and an RBI single yesterday in St. Louis. Also had a home run taken away in the first inning by Randall Grichuk. Little pop up right near second. It's the shortstop Cozart.
If at first you don't succeed, right? Thought he had a home run here. Grichuk denies him up over the wall. So he decides to hit this one where nobody's going to get it, except for that lady up there in the stands. Look out.
Ball 1 on Jorge Soler. This is a special place for him. He homered in his first major league plate appearance off Matt Latos in this very ballpark, August 27th of 2014. Off the end of the bat and a rainbow to center. Schebler makes the catch and the inning is over. Chris Bryant makes it 2-0 Cubs with Jake Arrieta to the mound.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, we're on the adventure of a lifetime and we need something that can keep up.
Well, the RAV4 is tech savvy, has an NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating, and plenty of cargo space for your gear so you'll be ready for anything. Now, what kind of adventure are we talking about?
You're looking at him.
Aw, double trouble.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2016 RAV4 or lease RAV4 for only $209 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better. At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Your fondest memories start right in your own backyard. Design your outdoor escape during the factory-authorized patio event at The Great Escape, where our biggest patio brands are offering discounts from 20 to 60%. Discover hundreds of new styles, dining tables, fire tables, and more. Designed to last for generations. Special order your custom collection now and save up to an additional $500 with instant factory cash.
Escape your everyday, shop The Great Escape.
Reds have won 7 of 9 here at home as they start a 4-gamer with the Cubs. Cozart, Suarez, and Votto at the top. Phillips has been really good lately. 6 hits his last 2 games. Jay Bruce off to a good start. Devin Mesoraco back of the plate. Adam Duvall is in left. I don't know if we'll see Billy Hamilton for a couple of days. He's got a left thumb bruise, so it's Scott Schebler in center. And the pitcher Finnegan batting ninth. Look at him, 4 for 7.
Cubs defensively, more of the standard alignment with Soler, Fowler, and Hayward. The front court in the outfield. Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo third to first. David Ross back there behind the plate for Jake Arrieta. He is our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher in pursuit of his 4th win. That would he would become the first National League pitcher to do that. He's got a 1.23 ERA, 3-2 with a 3.58 lifetime against Cincinnati.
Zach Cozart pops it up. Ross, good effort by David Ross as he went right into that railing, and looks like he's all right.
And just didn't have enough time to get over there and settle under it, so he's kind of treading lightly as he approaches that barrier. Not sure exactly where he is. The ball wasn't high enough for him to really find his way. Good assist there by Jim Day of Reds Television coming in to make sure. Cozart's off to a good start, hitting .432.
10-game hitting streak to start the year. Missed most of that series in Chicago. Left early in game one with right quad tightness. Did not play again in that series.
Uncle Charlie pays a visit. Cozart able to lay off there.
That was a really good pitch for him in his last start against the Rockies. That's fouled away. Arrieta, over the last couple of years, has taken no-hit bids into the mid or late innings against this Reds team. Cozart laid off that slider. That's a tough pitch to not swing at with 2 strikes. 3-2 with a Eugenio Suarez on deck.
Yeah, if he throws it again, he'll be swinging, it'd be my guess. He doesn't walk much. He doesn't strike out either. He hasn't been. He's been putting the ball in play.
One bounce to Bryant.
Jake making his 3rd career start in this ballpark. Had a rough one here a couple of years ago, and then a solid effort here last season back in April. I seem to recall the start here a couple of years ago. Didn't he have a blister? Didn't he have something going on? His hand? I don't know. I might be imagining it.
I don't recall. Doesn't mean you're not right. Here's Suarez. Played a lot of short last year after Cozart got hurt. John Frazier traded in the offseason, so Suarez now playing 3rd. He can hit. One strike pitch, swing and a miss on the curve. So we'll see David Ross back there. 2 straight games. John Lester will pitch tomorrow night.
Just great depth on that curveball. You know, Arrieta has been so good for so long now. And one thing that stood out to me in 14 and early last year, just so good out of the gate. You know, a lot of pitchers have first inning issues. It never seemed to be the problem with Arrieta. He'd come out of the bullpen throwing 95 miles an hour. Usually had good command of his breaking stuff right from the get-go.
Cubs have won his last 16 starts. His ERA is .070 during this stretch. Bounce to Rizzo. He'll take it to the bag. Special note to our viewers watching on the main channel, Comcast Sportsnet. We will be leaving this game at 8 o'clock Central Time for Blackhawks pregame live. The game is currently being shown on CSN Plus, so you can switch over now to watch the Cubs and the Reds in its entirety, or we will give you another reminder a little later on as we get closer. Busy night of sports here on CSN. Now Joey Votto. I don't know if this is good or bad, but he's going through an 0 for 16 tied for the longest hitless streak in his career. I tend to think it's bad, but and I'm not a pessimist. Guys like Joey Votto don't.
You're just you understand the math, yeah. Sooner or later, Joey Votto's going to break out. Punched out 3 times yesterday, and he's been swinging and missing a fair bit here in the early going. It's what, 360 something second half of last year.
Well, these two guys had the best second halves of, I'd say, any 2 players in the league. Arrieta on the mound, Votto at the plate. 362, 535, 617 was his slash line. That's right, he got on base more than half of his plate appearances in the second half, and he hits a 1-hopper to Russell. Arrieta goes 1-2-3 in the first. It's 2-0 Cubs.
Hey, Chicago, when did paying for airfare become so unfair? At Southwest, we believe in transparency. Transparency means we don't dream up ways we can trick you into paying more. It's why we still let 2 bags fly free and don't have change fees. So our low fares stay low. Just the way you like it.
Four by for scenic routes that only you find scenic. For the great outdoors and the great indoors. For knowing boundaries are there to be crossed. 4x4 today, tomorrow, we're never saying. Jeep Cherokee. It's how we live 4x forever. Get 0% APR for 75 months or $2,500 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash on 2016 Cherokee models.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis?
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Cubs baseball on CSN is presented to you by State Farm.
Well, the Cubs are back home for homestand beginning Tuesday night. Mark your calendar. That's the 26th. They'll be in for 6 games. The Brewers and then the Braves come to town. Tickets are going fast, as you can imagine. Visit Cubs.com today and plan now for the games you want to see. A reminder, the Cubs have added metal detectors at all Wrigley Field gates, so give yourself plenty of time to enter the ballpark. Cubs.com/security for more information.
2-0 on Chris Bryant's first inning home run. Into the second deck. And Ben Zobrist will lead it off, batting right-handed. Just 2 for his last 31. And he takes a ball.
Fowler hit the first pitch he saw. It was Bryant first pitch. It was early in the at bat, and first or second pitch, I think.
I can tell you.
Fire in the hole.
I got it.
You know, coming into this ballgame, right-handed hitters were hitting just 100 against Finnegan. So the lefty has been able to neutralize the right-handed hitters. 5 out of 50 were they. Fowler got him from the right side, and obviously Bryant as well.
Hit well to deep right. Bruce will look up, and it is gone. Ben Zobrist with his first home run as a Chicago Cub. He goes to the opposite field, and it's 3-0.
Well, what a difference a day makes, and in this case, a turn through as Finnegan had the Cubs handcuffed last time. This time they're all over him. Another elevated pitch. And congratulations, Ben Zobrist, first long ball in a Cub uniform. There's your Ford home run replay for the second time tonight. He gave that one the full treatment.
And a strike, bottom of the zone on Addison Russell. Bryant's homer came on the second pitch.
Okay.
Zobrist on the third. always feels good to get that first home run of a season. And again, he had been scuffling. Career homer number 128 for Ben Zobrist. He hit 27 back in 09. He's hit at least 23 times, but the last time was 2012. Russell's one home run came against the Reds, a game winner last week. And he lines to Cozart, the shortstop.
Well, because of the rain, the Cubs did not take batting practice on the field this afternoon. Doesn't seem to have bothered them in the least. Lots of good swings here early against Finnegan.
Well, as Joe Madden once famously said, it's the most overrated thing we do. Take batting practice. David Ross, a former Red, he had 38 home runs over 2 seasons in a Cincy uniform, 2006 and 7.
Yeah, if you want to stump your friends with a little Reds trivia, ask them this question.
Okay.
Top 10 single season home runs. Single seasons. Let me word this properly.
All right, let's start over.
Start over, Alex.
Forget everything he just said.
The category is Reds Jeopardy.
Okay.
Top 10 home run seasons by a Reds catcher. 7 of those 10 were done by Johnny Bench.
Okay.
Who are the other 3?
Well, we'll let it sit for a second, but I'm going to take a shot at it. Tap toward third. Come on, David, run! And he's safe as Suarez couldn't pick it up.
Well, there's been a lot of hard contact so far. This anything but he's on base. What they give him a knock, or they call E5? Got to be a knock, right? If you try to barehand it.
Yep.
Now some guys will try to barehand a ball that they shouldn't for that reason, because they know they're not going to get charged with an error. But you're not going to get David Ross on a play like that.
No,
not with those wheels.
No way. My answer would be Devin Mesoraco and David Ross twice. Am I right? Or is it 3 different guys?
3 different guys. But those 2
Eddie
are correct.
Taubensee?
You are correct,
okay.
sir. Rossi had 19 home runs that one year, not a ton of at-bats. I believe he has the highest single-season slugging percentage for a Reds catcher. Better than even the great Johnny Bench. People think we just walk around Cincinnati all day eating chili with cinnamon in it and nutmeg. No, we do serious research.
There's a base hit to right as Arrieta cracked his bat. Ross on his way to third. Cubs pitchers continue to swing a hot bat. I had this note from the Cubs game notes. Their starting pitchers lead the majors with 7 RBIs. If they were put in a mix of DHs in the American League, team DHs,
yeah,
they'd be middle of the pack.
Yeah. Well, we had that graphic yesterday that they had outperformed Mike Trout to this point in the season, but I think Trout was probably, well, he did. He had a home run today. He had a big day yesterday too, so he'll probably end up performing better than the Cubs pitchers this year. Just a guess. So you talked about the performance of those 2 cats right there post All-Star break, and they were both All-Star snubs last year too. So
yeah, it feels like we need to figure out a way to rectify that. Maybe have the All-Star game be about the last half of the previous season and the first half of the current season.
I think there's should be some consideration for that. Well, you talked about the woes for the Reds bullpen, so Brian Price wants to get some innings out of Finnegan here this evening. He's, already in a big hole with a big hill to climb with Arrieta pitching against him.
Fowler, first pitch of the game, double to center. This time he takes a strike.
Finnegan, first round pick of the Royals in 2014. And he pitched in the big leagues that year. So he helped lead TCU to the College World Series and then pitched in the World Series.
Fifth pitcher ever to get his first major league win. Not in the regular season, but in the playoffs.
Well, TCU, who else? We got Arrieta, Finnegan, Matt Carpenter, Andrew Kashner, and Brian Holliday, also a Horned Frog. So was Bob Schieffer.
I didn't know that. Bounce to third, foul.
The journalism school there is named after Bob Schieffer.
Bounce to third. Suarez will get one, and that is all. So Fowler on a fielder's choice will get an RBI as Ross is in. It's 4-0.
Speed is a beautiful thing. Fowler able to beat it, gets himself an RBI.
Gets Arrieta back to the dugout to get ready for the bottom of this inning. He did his job. And a throw. And Dexter back. Not a huge crowd tonight. I see a lot of Cubs blue in the stands.
I hear thunder or somebody rolling kegs upstairs.
Rolling kegs.
There's a rumble of. Maybe they're moving the furniture. It's kind of funky what Finnegan does with that pickoff move. He's not really stepping directly towards first base. It's almost like he's just putting that front foot down. He's striding in the general direction. It's just a kind of a truncated stride. I think it's legal. It just looks a little funky.
2-0 on Hayward.
Finnegan just ambushed by the Cubs here early. He hasn't been able to establish anything. The fastball command is not there. He hasn't really gotten anything going with his secondary pitches.
3-0. So if we're playing connect the dots, I guess this next pitch is going to be up and away. Instead, it is right down Main Street, and it's 3-1. 3-2.
Finnegan, there was some debate as to whether he would, be best as a starter or reliever, but the development of the changeup, I think they feel like he can be a solid starter now. Coming into this one, he'd been awfully tough to hit. Best in the NL at 129. He had walked 10 in 17 2/3.
Cubs are 5 for 10 against him, make it 6 out of 11. Fowler to third. Inning still alive for Chris Bryant.
Yeah, so here's the challenge for Brian Price. It's obviously early in the ball game, and you always feel like this early you have a chance, but he's up against Arrieta, so how early does he want to get that bullpen cranked up? How hard does he want to try to salvage this one when Arrieta is the opposing pitcher? So it may be that Finnegan's going to have to stay out there and take a bit of a beating here tonight, and Brian Price can keep his powder dry, so to speak, for the rest of the weekend.
Bryant already with a 2-run homer and a 2-hopper to Cozart. And he'll get the ball to Phillips ahead of Hayward. Cubs add 2 to their lead. Ben Zobrist with his first homer of the year as a part of it. It's 4-0 after an inning and a half.
Get major league coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year.
T-Mobile hit it out of the park. We doubled our LTE coverage to cover over 305 million Americans. And our new extended range LTE goes 2 times farther and works 4 times better in buildings than before. Switch to T-Mobile for major league coverage today.
For a limited time, you can get a great deal on this Passat.
Wow, it looks really good.
Volkswagen believes safety is very important, so all 11 models come standard with an intelligent crash response system. 7 stability-enhancing systems. And equipment for 2 child seats.
For those who take safety seriously, like we do. The Volkswagen Safety in Numbers event is happening now. Lease a 2016 Passat S for $169 a month after a $1,250 bonus.
Want more friends this summer? Get a new pool from The Great Escape with preseason savings up to $1,500 on all pools. Plus, up to an additional $1,500 with free installation. Only at The Great Escape.
I lost my daughter Chrissy to cancer, but in her final hours, she chose to give me the ultimate gift. My vision was failing, and through a cornea transplant, Chrissy gave me the gift of sight.
It takes less than a minute to join the Secretary of State's Organ and Tissue Donor Registry.
The eyes are the mirror to the soul, so I'm seeing my great-granddaughter through Chrissy's eyes.
Go to lifegoeson.com.
Chrissy's gift changed a life. You can too.
Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card. Only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Well, that little guy, he's ready if needed off the bench tonight. Thinking he'll play maybe second base late.
I think so, yeah. He's
like an infielder.
Move him around.
Ben, you better watch your back.
He's a young Ben Zobrist. Just wants to play. Put me in, coach.
Don't need to wipe the pizza sauce off his face before he gets in, but 1-1 on Brandon Phillips. I missed it. I guess Purple Rain was the walk-up music for Brandon Phillips. We're going to hear a lot of Prince music around the big leagues this week. Sad news today, the pop icon passing away at age 57. Makes you feel old when you remember when the song 1999 came out 15 years before 1999. Bouncer to Bryant, and he gets him.
4 outs, all on the ground. Nice play by Bryant. Not an easy hop there. Ball was sharply struck, so he just kind of had to hang in there and use his hands. pretty play. Of course, he's going to use his hands. The point I'm making, trust his hands. He didn't really have time to get in front of it, couldn't charge it.
Now Jay Bruce.
Jay Bruce off to a good start, and that's good for the Reds for a couple reasons. One, he's helped them. And two, if he continues to produce, they may be able to move him at the trade deadline for some good pieces.
1-1. How about the Diamondbacks? They swept the Giants in San Francisco in a 4-game series. 6-2 the final today.
Shelby Miller today, right? I think he was scheduled to start that one.
Tyler Wagner ended up going 5 innings in relief following Miller, and he got the win. The benches did clear late. No ejections. Josh Osich hit David Peralta for the 2nd consecutive game. Jake Lamb in the series went 7 for 15. Ball 4. That's the Reds' first base runner. If you look at a Jake Arrieta profile with how hard he throws, all the strikeouts, you assume there's going to be some walks, and that used to be the case, but that's not the case these days.
No, that's just the 3rd walk he has issued this year.
I mean, the transformation of Arrieta is just, it's remarkable. I mean, he had a walk rate of, about 11-12% when he was with Baltimore, but it keeps going down. 2014, 6.7, 5.5 last year, 2.5% walk rate this year. And the major league average is right around 8.
Yeah, well, and how about his ERAs over the last 4 years? 6.2 in 2012, and then 4.78 to 2.53 to 1.77.
We got the high strike that time on a slider, no less. That's the pitch you were talking about yesterday that doesn't often get called. Wasn't even a fastball.
Yeah, pretty rare to get that pitch called up there.
Slow start for Mesoraco. He missed a couple games at Wrigley last week with quad tightness.
He did not look very mobile behind the plate. Had the hip problem last year. He's got this funny little thing he does. Watch it, he'll just kind of all of a sudden drop.
And he chased one, and I think he thought he got a piece of it, but he did not. So that is out number 2 and Arrieta's first strikeout.
That curveball is so menacing for the hitters because a lot of guys, when the curveball comes out of their hand, there's a little hump in it. You see it kind of come up and then kind of spin. Not Arrieta's. It's on plane out of his hand, and then it just dive bombs.
We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Park TV and Electronics in Cissna Park, Illinois. Adam Duvall takes a strike. The other thing about Arrieta, he used to be a fly ball pitcher. Now he's a ground ball pitcher. His ground ball fly ball ratio used to be around 0.8, 0.7. It was 0.5 with Baltimore in 2013 before he got traded to the Cubs. Well, it's now 1.33. And he's given up a lot more ground balls than fly balls here these last few years.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of different games, right? He can be efficient, attack you early with sinkers, and that curveball are both good ground ball pitches for him. And then if he needs to dial it up, he can pitch away from contact and go for the strikeout.
Scott Schebler is on deck. There's Bruce. He walked with 1 out. Now there are 2. And the 2-1 is fouled away.
Remember, his only loss in this stretch of quality work was the no-hitter that Cole Hamels pitched for the Phillies against the Cubs. He allowed 3 runs in 6 innings in that ball game. It was a 3-run home run by Ryan Howard on a 3-2 pitch. So he was that. If Howard pops that ball up, who knows?
We could still be in extra innings.
Who knows how that would have ended up.
If you want to beat Jake Arrieta, you got to throw a no-hitter. One got away from him on a curveball.
Usually there's pretty good sense of gallows humor in the clubhouse prior to a game against a guy like Arrieta. Players will be walking around and, oh man, we got no chance tonight. Why do we even show up?
Runner goes on the 3-2, swing and a miss, inning over. 2 scoreless innings in the books for Arrieta, and he's got a 4-0 advantage.
I solemnly swear that my KFC $20 fill-up will fill your family of 4 up with 8 pieces of delicious original recipe chicken and sides. It's a meal that's freshly prepared every day. Court adjourned. Colonel quality guaranteed.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin. If you've been hurt at work or injured in an auto accident, I'd like to be your lawyer. Please call me at 312-600-0000. Ankin Law. Injury law. Made personal.
They say that in life, we shouldn't sweat the small stuff. But when you're building a Mercedes-Benz, there really is no small stuff. Every decision, every component is an integral part of what makes the 2016 C-Class one of our most sophisticated cars ever. Because when you're setting a new benchmark for refinement, it is the small stuff that makes the biggest impression. The 2016 C-Class. See your authorized dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services.
Thank you. Ordering Chinese food is a very predictable experience. I order B14, I get B14. No surprises. Buying business internet, on the other hand, can be a roller coaster white-knuckle thrill ride. You're promised one speed, but do you consistently get it? You do with Comcast Business. It's reliable, just like Kung Pao fish. Thank you, Pink.
Reliably fast internet starts at $59.95 a month. Comcast Business, built for business.
Make sure you follow In Game Live on CSNChicago.com. It's presented by State Farm. Game 1 from Cincinnati. We've got night games first 3 days and then Sunday matinee. Pitch to Anthony Rizzo is a called strike.
One of the storylines we followed with Anthony over the last 2 or 3 years is his improved work against left-handed pitching. So far this year, he has struggled in that department. Small sample, but you see what he has done here. He's really struggled in 13, and then the last 2 seasons really picked it up. Off to a slow start this year against Southpaws, but a small sample size.
Votto quickly leaves his feet. Finnegan to the bag. 3-1 on the out. Now Soler, he flied to center. His initial time up. You mentioned Mike Trout, a home run, got on base 4 times. Angels 3, White Sox 2 the final. Jared Weaver over John Danks.
I think Trout saw our graphic yesterday.
You might be right.
Showed the Cubs pitchers were outperforming him. Sent him a little wake-up call.
Weaver's Best fastball in terms of velocity today was 86, but he improved to 2-0. And I guess he was a little cranky with reporters after the game who kept asking him about his fastball velocity, and I can understand that. He doesn't want to talk about it.
You should embrace it, like Dan Herron.
Bottom of the zone strike, so up and down. Dana DeMuth seems to be giving pitchers the benefit of the doubt early on. Even with the loss, White Sox off to a great start, 10 up, 6 down. Started the day in first in their division. This is Schebler. Right now they're tied with Kansas City. Royals have an early 1-0 lead in the second over Detroit.
It could be an interesting division to keep an eye on, that AL Central.
I agree.
And I think Cleveland's going to be a good club.
Twins off to that bad start, but yeah, everybody else you could make a case. Zobrist is robbed of a hit by Suarez, and for the first time tonight the Cubs do not score. They'll go 1-2-3, but still lead this game 4-0.
It's our firm belief that corners are meant to be hugged, not cut. Luxury without compromise. The Audi A3, starting at $30,900. Experience uncompromised luxury at your local Audi dealer.
Grandioso. Colossal. Jumbo.
The Jumbo Collection from the Illinois Lottery. Win up to $3 million instantly. Get ready to live large.
You're not gonna watch it. No, you're not gonna watch it. We can't let you download on the go. You'll just have to miss it. Yeah, you'll just have to miss it.
No thanks, I have X1 from Xfinity, so.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Xfinity lets you download your shows from anywhere. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
I used to like that song.
Saturday night, Central Division rivals square off again in the Queen City as Chris Bryant's Cubs battle the Reds in Game 3 of the series. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tonight, Brent Seabrook and the Blackhawks fight for their playoff lives as they get set for Game 5 against the Blues. Coverage starts at 8 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live on CSN Chicago. Blackhawks playoff hockey is brought to you by Volvo. Cubs leading 4-0. Scott Schebler in for Billy Hamilton. Fourth start for Schebler in center. He's made 4 starts in left as well. Hamilton dealing with a left thumb contusion, more commonly known as a bruise.
How did he get it? Did he get jammed really badly?
He was making a catch recently.
Could have been. Schebler, 25 years of age. A little bit of time with the Dodgers last year. It was the extent of his major league experience coming into this season.
That was a leaping grab at the wall in St. Louis. It led to the Hamilton injury. The 3-1 from Arrieta is a strike. This will get back out of play off of third.
A couple years ago at AA Chattanooga, Schebler hit 28 home runs. Had some speed too. He had 14 triples that year. Led the Southern League in both those categories.
Fly to right. Hayward. He said, I was hearing a crunching noise on TV. I just realized your field microphone near the Reds on deck circle was picking up cleat noise, or, you know, I just heard that noise. Cozart took the weighted donut off his bat. He said, I thought JD might be eating cereal.
No,
we don't have a box of Rizzos up here.
Waiting to get a box of Rizzos we can snack on during the game. I know people really enjoy that.
Try to give you sounds of the game.
Try to bring you right inside the ballpark.
Finnegan can swing the bat. He doesn't there. Takes ball 2, 2-1.
I used to love the smell of a cigar at a ballpark. I never smoked a cigar in my life. Something about cigar smoke in a ballpark.
And that's something you're not
going to get
experience again. Well, that's probably the next thing with technology. We give you the sights, we give you the sounds of baseball. Can we give you the smells?
Smells of the game. Yeah, something will kind of ooze out of your television screen.
He struck him out on a fastball. Again, at high strike.
Two-seamer. Finnegan frees a little bit and runs back over the plate. Cradled nicely by David Ross.
Back to the top, and Cozart.
Right back downstairs with that one. Yeah, that's the one you'd rather get called. You could just live down there. The elevated fastball, normally you're looking for a swing through, a swing and a miss, or a pop up. Not expecting that pitch to get called. Cozart off to a good start this year, and he was last year prior to getting hurt. Don't know what the long-range plans are for Cozart and the Reds. 30 years of age.
Yeah, they acquired Jose Peraza, a middle infield prospect from the Dodgers. Bryant bounces the throw, but it's there in time. And Jake Arrieta, no hitting the Reds through 3. He's got a 4-run pad. Chris Bryant's been good offensively and defensively.
Rebecca told Taco Bell she'd fold 1,000 paper swans. Brian said he'd wear 55 pounds of salmon in bear country. And Patrick, he said he'd literally do anything. Fans promised to do lots of things to bring back their favorite burritos.
Oh, I was just kidding!
A promise is a promise, Patrick. Grab the cheesy double beef or the beefy crunch burrito for just $1. You brought him back. We made him $1. You earned it.
To showcase the impressive Infiniti QX50, we could have imagined it on a winding mountain pass, or somewhere even more cliche, like a downtown street. But what distinguishes the Infiniti QX50 isn't where you can take it, it's how you feel taking it there. With generous cargo space, extended second-row legroom, and coupe-like handling, the QX50 from Infiniti. Lease the all-wheel drive Infiniti QX50 for $339 a month. Visit your Chicagoland Infiniti retailer.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help you build all of your projects with an 11% rebate on everything. Menards has a huge selection of Mastercraft doors in stock. Take one home and install it today. Select sizes of this DuraCore Prime interior door are only $62.29 after 11% rebate. Stop in for an 11% rebate on everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Saturday, April 30th, Chicago Fire Soccer plays on CSN Chicago. Watch the men in red go for the goal against DC United in an important early season test. Fire DC United starting at 3:30 on CSN. Spanish language broadcast available on CSN+.
Welcome back. Cubs lead 4-0 as we head to the fourth. Wednesday, May 25th. Kerry Wood will bring the heat. Fans will get a chance to swing for the fences, competing for the Battle of the Bats Home Run Championship at Wrigley Field. It's your chance to step up to the plate for Chicago's kids and support the Wood Family Foundation and Cubs Charities. For details, visit CubsCharities.com.
A little sliver of the sun. We're on the other side of the river as we near dusk. One strike on Addison Russell. Pitch too high. Albert Almora off to a good start. AAA Iowa. Take a look at the Cubs minor league system, hitting .368. His first homer of the season yesterday. Right-hander Pierce Johnson activated from the Iowa disabled list, starting tonight against New Orleans. Line shot left field, and the slide and catch by Adam Duvall. The Russells lined out both times.
Yeah, most of the outs in this game have been hard hit by the Cub hitters. You know what's hard to do? Write Duvall, print it in your scorebook, and not have the U and the V end up looking the same. I encourage people to try that at home.
Well, you got to put that little tail on the U. That's the key. You're a sans tail U guy?
Yeah, I need to work on that. None's taught me better than that.
2-0 on David Ross.
I'm giving it a good solid effort here, and it's still, the U and the V look very similar. .55 pitches for Finnegan here.
Tennessee Smokies lost 8-1 to Montgomery today. The Montgomery team nickname is one of the best. They're the Biscuits. And the press release from the Smokies said, "Biscuits batter Smokies." It's pretty good. Batter is technically involved in making biscuits, but still I like it. Ross on for the second time. David might want to rethink this retirement thing. It's off to a really good start.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of energy. He had a nice spring, really swinging the bat well towards the end of spring training. And, you know, with Kyle being hurt, they're going to lean on David to catch a little bit more than he probably anticipated coming into the season.
Single to right for Arrieta, his first time up.
You know, Kyle Schwarber would love to be here close to home. Did a lot of damage in this ballpark last year.
Yeah, Kyle grew up a Reds fan. Had that big game in Cleveland when he first came up.
Rossi's got to be feeling pretty good about that right there. He induced a pickoff throw.
That's into center. Arrieta's 2 for 2. Ross to third. Here comes the throw.
Nope.
And now Arrieta caught between first and second. The throw there. Votto knocks it down. Ross on his way to the plate. He's going to score. It's 5-0. Analyze that play, JD.
Is that David Ross or Tony Campana out there scampering around the bases? We have a whole lot going on here. First, I think Phillips may have been screened a little bit by the second base umpire. That's a ball he normally would get leather on, I think. And we talked about Rossi feeling fresh. Aaron throw, and then Finnegan with the bad throw to Votto. He should have been able to corral it at least. Could not. Oh, look at this.
Look at that play. Safe at first. A little barehanded pick by Brandon Phillips. And they get Arrieta at second. So a single on that last play for Arrieta, an error on the pitcher Finnegan, allowing Ross to score.
Well, all I can say there is if you're going to make that play with your bare hand, you better not drop it.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you're forced to use the bare hand. Sometimes it's the best option, but that was just just because he can.
Back of the plate. Well, Zobrist got his first. Hayward still looking for his first home run in a Cubs uniform. And there is action. Tim Melville in the Reds bullpen.
Finnegan has allowed 7 base hits tonight, plus a lot of hard contact. He had allowed only 8 hits in his 3 starts total coming into this ball game.
Two and a full count. Beautiful sky with those kind of lavender hued clouds. Across the way. Remember that red sky we had here?
Yeah, we had
last
a
year.
Funky sky.
It has been all Cubs so far in this 19-game season series. This is game 4. Hayward rips it foul. Fowler, even though he'll go with 2 outs, and it's low, ball 4.
Melville's probably ready, and I think Brian Price has seen enough. Finnegan's been good for him so far this year, having an off night tonight. Well, I guess he hasn't. I thought I saw him make a move.
Jim Regelman, the bench coach, former Cubs manager. And it's Chris Bryant with 2 men on. Here's the pitch.
Brian Price got into a bit of hot water last year, kind of unloaded on the local media, took a lot of heat nationally for it. But he's a well-respected guy in the game, weathered the storm. I don't think, expectations being what they are for this club this year, he should be in a good spot in terms of job security.
Yeah, I would say that little dust-up was out of character.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, the game, man.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, guys, people snap. There's a lot of pressure in this game, and some things went down that he wasn't happy about and kind of lost it.
I seem to recall he was aggravated about certain reports getting out before maybe he talked to a player.
And somebody saw some people coming. A writer saw some guys on a plane that were headed this way, and he tweeted it. So therefore, the guys who are going to be sent out, or a guy, kind of caught wind of the fact that somebody he was going to be replaced before Brian had a chance to talk to him. Just the nature of the times we live in, it's going to happen.
Yep.
Casey Stengel once, managing in Boston, got hit by a taxi, broke his leg, and missed most of the year. And the local newspaper gave the taxi cab driver the Sportsman of the Year award. That's how unpopular Casey was in Boston in the late 30s. And then he went on to have that great career and all those championships with the Yankees, the old professor.
I can hear you from over here. You're too loud. That's Greg Gibson, as Joe did not like the check swing call for a strike.
Joe's defense is that there's not many people in the ballpark.
Right, called strike 3, and that will end the inning. It's 5-0 Cubs.
3,000 bottles of beer on the wall, 3,000 bottles of beer. If one of those bottles happened to fall, 2,999 bottles of beer on the wall.
Man, this is awesome. Look.
Before taking his team to state for the first time, Coach Gilman helped his players keep their eye on the ball.
Ready to crush, here we go.
Their head in the game and their feet on the ground. And along the way, gave them a season to remember.
It's a little token. I'm so proud of you.
Share your favorite baseball memories all season long using hashtag MLB Memory Bank.
With T-Mobile, you pay $95 a month for a smaller network, and monthly taxes and fees are always extra. With Cricket, you get an unlimited plan on a bigger network for $65 a month after $5 autopay credit. And monthly taxes and fees are always included. Looks like T-Mobile's not all it's cracked up to be. And now, for a limited time, switch to Cricket and get a $50 bill credit. Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about.
Closed captioning of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by U.S. Waterproofing.
A little seepage in your basement is no need to panic. Count on the experts at U.S. Waterproofing to diagnose and repair the problem. For a free consultation, call 888-SEEPAGE or visit seepage.com.
Welcome back to Porkopolis. Sunday, May 15th, the Cubs celebrate Youth Baseball and Softball Appreciation Day. Buy your tickets now through the Cubs special events page to receive a special Cubs youth bat and ball set. A portion of net proceeds will be donated back to all participating teams or leagues of 50 or more. To purchase tickets and for more information, visit Cubs.com/special events. Look at that guy. You talk about a utility player.
Yeah. Who does he think he is? Javi Baez?
He's ready.
Well, they allowed that shirt in this ballpark, and it was probably the best promotion for that Joe Madden themed shirt by having it banned in St. Louis. Because no publicity is bad publicity when it comes to selling T-shirts.
Help sell shirts and help raise money for charity. So at the end of the day, that'll be a good thing.
Suarez bounces foul. Reds without a hit through 3. The home scoreless streak at Wrigley for Jake is at 48 1/3 innings. Doesn't really matter these days where he pitches. Dominated the Pirates to win the wild card. Two and two.
Went 8 innings in his last start. Came out after 100 pitches. Could have finished. Could have completed that game, but they're trying to save some bullets in the anticipation of a long run in the fall, or certainly in hopes of a long run in the fall.
I'll tell you one thing, and it's really, really early. If he just keeps doing what he's doing, and this team keeps doing what it's doing, he will get MVP votes. If he keeps hitting the way he's hitting. He's been doing it all as he walks Suarez. So that's 2 walks allowed. And here's Joey Votto. Now going through the longest offer of his career. Without a hit in 17 straight at bats.
To June of last year, it all started in that game in Minnesota. 23 consecutive quality starts, and you know, the quality start is 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less, so that's really not giving him his due because they've been way better than that. 19-1 with a 0.91 earned run average. Come up with a new stat, a superior start, an excellent start, or something like that.
Brian Price, do you push the envelope even though you're down 5 runs? Trying to get base runners going. How many chances are you going to have?
If you like the math, I think you do. If the timings, the numbers you're getting on your stopwatch.
And as I say that, Suarez picked off by David Ross.
And we talk about David Ross in his early season performance. He's really been throwing the ball well. Threw out a couple of base stealers in his last assignment when he was catching John Lester. There's going to be no challenge from the Reds.
Perfect throw.
Yeah, I was going to say, if the times they're getting on Arrieta to home were slow enough where they felt like they could get decent jumps, then it probably would make sense in the right part of the lineup to try to steal a base or two, even though you're down 5, just to try to chip away.
Diving stop, Rizzo, and they get Votto.
It's contrary to conventional baseball thinking, which says if you're down a bunch, you don't take risks on the base paths. You just hope somebody can knock one out of the ballpark and get you back in the game. But against Jake, I think changes the thinking a little bit. And the idea that you're going to stand in there and just do a bunch of slugging against them is, that's not very reasonable. Pretty play by the big fella.
Phillips grounded to third his first time up. He takes a strike. John Lester and John Moscott tomorrow. 2 Johns with no H. John with an H. Lackey against former Cub Dan Straley on Saturday, and then Jason Hamill and Alfredo Simon scheduled for Sunday. Simon, however, had his last start skipped due to a biceps injury. And that's it for the Reds after 4. 5-0 Cubs.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each, backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
Ace is a place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This year, I want the best lawn on the block, man.
Ace is a place where lawn advice is always free. And speaking of free, ...
Don't miss the BOGO sale at Ace. Buy one select item, get another designated item free, now through Monday only.
Nissan's family of crossovers with intuitive all-wheel drive. See driving in a more confident light. For a limited time, lease Rogue, just $189 per month, or get 0% financing for up to 36 months. Take on Mother Nature. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
We roll on to the 5th. Cubs lead 5-0. Take home a game used or autographed item and help benefit Cubs charities. Cubs Authentics is the premier outlet for all MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities. Visit Cubs.com/authentics today.
David Ross has had a great night. He's been on twice, has scored twice, has picked off a runner. and he's catching a no-hitter through 4. A reminder, in about a half hour, if you're watching on the main channel Comcast Sportsnet, we will be moving you over to Blackhawks pregame live. So if you're tuning in for that game, we will get you there at 8 o'clock Central Time. This game is also currently on CSN Plus, and you can watch it in its entirety. Here's right-hander Tim Melville taking over for the starter Finnegan.
You think his teammates call him Herman?
Maybe. And he starts Rizzo with a breaking ball for a strike.
Melville, rookie, 26 years old. Pitched at AAA Toledo in the Tigers organization last year.
And Robert Stevenson up for a start. So it's Stevenson and Melville.
Very literate group.
That goes 4-3. Phillips to Votto.
James Joyce would work the plate when those guys pitch. Right. Be Jim Joyce any other time, but when they pitch, he'd be James Joyce.
Soler rolls one foul.
People in the front row are rather brave, aren't they? Just flinging themselves at that ball. That thing was pretty well struck.
Count, a rocket foul the other way. Nicely done, sir. The awkward fist bump. By the way, tangentially related to what just happened, I am in a real bad fist bump handshake funk. Just for whatever reason, the last week or so. You see somebody I haven't seen in a while, and it's like you see the fist, and then you do that, and then they put their hand out to shake yours, and
right, yeah,
very awkward.
I know the feeling, yeah. You need to work on that.
I will. Maybe it's them, not me. Host your best customers and guests in a private suite at Wrigley Field. The new Veen Investment Suites can accommodate anywhere from 15 to 55 guests and include food, all-you-can-drink beverages, and parking. To book your premier experience at the ballpark, visit Cubs.com/premier. Ben Zobrist from the right side hit a home run in the second, his first of the year. The ground ball, base hit. Good effort by Phillips.
Yeah, these bats are starting to come to life, and you say, wait a minute, what do you mean come to life? The Cubs are winning all kinds of games. Well, they have been, but they haven't really been doing a whole lot of hitting. First week of the season they did, and they also drew a ton of walks, but of late, Rizzo's gone through his troubles. Hayward's had a hard time finding holes, same for Zobrist, but now the hits are starting to come. That's number 8 tonight. Zobrist could easily have 3. Hit a bullet last time up and lined out to third base. (11-4) record for the Cubs so far, and they haven't really hit their stride. Russell with good contact tonight, nothing to show for it so far.
1-2. Outside. According to Baseball Reference, one of Tim Melville's nicknames is Woody. Is that the Toy Story reference, maybe?
Well, let's get a close-up. Does he look like Woody?
I guess so.
Kirk Reeder was Woody, right?
Yeah.
Got a pretty good lather going. Somebody poisoned the water hole.
Outside.
I think you got to go with Herman. Or Moby. Get down.
It will be caught, and Melville authors a scoreless inning. 5-0 Cubs.
Honda believes in helping you use your garage to its fullest potential. That's why we're offering great deals on the things you'll want in your garage, like the Honda CR-V. The best-selling SUV in America comes with a standard multi-angle rear-view camera and plenty of cargo space. Great for transporting lots of stuff, say to storage or the dump. Hurry to the Honda Dream Garage sales event. You've got a garage to fill. Time's running out on all the great deals. Don't miss the event. Now at your Honda dealer.
3,000 bottles of beer on the wall, 3,000 bottles of beer. If one of those bottles happen to fall, 2,999 bottles of beer on the wall.
T-Mobile hit it out of the park. We doubled our LTE coverage to cover over 305 million Americans. And our new extended range LTE goes 2 times farther and works 4 times better in buildings than before. Switch to T-Mobile for major league coverage today.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan here with a Coors Light Cold Hard Facts Sportsnet Central update. Tomorrow, the White Sox open up a 3-game weekend set with the Rangers. Jose Quintana matches up with Martin Perez. Quintana 1-1 with a .318 Ernie this season. We'll have pregame coverage on Sportsnet Central at 6:30. And Jason Benetti and Steve Stone at the call. 35th and Shield just after 7 bells right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Now we go back to Len and JD in the Natty.
Cubs leading 5-0. No hits for the Reds through 4. Back to work. Jake Arrieta to Jay Bruce, who fouls out of play.
A walk, a very rare occurrence for both Arrieta and Bruce. Jake had only walked a couple coming into this start. Bruce had only walked once all year prior to that plate appearance.
One and 2 the count. My daily chat with Chris Bosio. He got a nice write-up in one of the local papers. You know, Jake was giving him a lot of credit for not only the pitcher's success on the mound, but he throws in batting practice a lot. I asked Boz, you know, what were the things that your pitching coaches, when you pitched, the things that you needed to know? And it was interesting. The first thing he said was guys who swing. Guys who swing at the first pitch. So one thing he wanted to know from his pitching coach, tendencies.
Yeah, who swings early?
Yeah.
Who's willing to take a walk?
You have your 3-2 theory, and it kind of fits that. Most pitchers would like to live on the outer edges of the strike zone, get their outs on swings and misses.
Yeah, strikes is overrated. It really is, and that was the old Warren Spahn line. You want to be as close to the plate, but as far away from the barrel of the bat as possible. Those pitches that start in the zone run off the corners.
Swing and a miss.
So you throw strike one and then expand. And we talked earlier about the evolution of Jake Arrieta, and you look at his numbers from 4 years ago, say, when he was struggling with Baltimore. First pitch strikes, 55%ish. Right now he's like 65%. That's a huge increase in terms of just getting the jump on hitters.
That's the changeup. The other thing Boz said, I said, was there one pitching coach in particular who helped you the most? He said, I learned more from my teammates. And he played with Paul Molitor, Robin Yount. He said the Hall of Fame hitters, just watching them do their thing and having conversations with them about how they attack pitchers.
There's the breakdown fastball, slider, curve, and he has mixed in a couple of changes. Well, I think that job has evolved too, the pitching coach.
As Arauco breaks his bat as he flies out. Follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. You can visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. How has the pitching coach job expanded?
And hitting coach, I think it used to be a lot about mechanics and maybe psychology. Now it is about preparation. It's about knowing, hey, you get ahead with a breaking ball with this guy, you can put him away with hard stuff in, or start him fastballs and then finish him off with a changeup in the dirt. I mean, there's a very specific pitching plan for each hitter. Back when I played, and of course that's a long time ago, it was more generic. Hey, just kind of basic pitching. Down and away, up and in, change speeds. There wasn't a specific plan for a lot of hitters because they didn't have as much information.
Right. Duvall pops it up on the infield, and this is Ben Zobrist. No hits through 5. It's 5-zip Cubs.
Here we go.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
Breathe. I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, we're on the adventure of a lifetime, and we need something that can keep up.
Well, the RAV4 is tech-savvy, has an NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating, and plenty of cargo space for your gear so you'll be ready for anything. Now, what kind of adventure are we talking about?
You're looking at him.
Aw, double trouble.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2016 RAV4, or lease RAV4 for only $209 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
It only takes one genius to change a light bulb. You. LED bulbs use 85% less energy and last a long time, saving you up to $100 over each bulb's lifetime. So change yours today. The more you know.
Time for our Xfinity high-speed action. Jake Arrieta with the base hit. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game. This was a wild play. And Finnegan made one extra throw, and there was one too many as Ross would score.
Got handed that water bottle as soon as he got to the dugout. Like he was running a marathon.
The 8 and 9 hitters, 4 trips, 4 reaches, 2 runs. He catches the outside corner. Should ask David, and we'll come here 2 more times this season. Thought he was keeping some sort of journal. And for his last season, he got some gifts from his teammates. I wonder if, when he takes trips to places like Cincinnati, Los Angeles, places where he played, if there are any people in particular he wanted to meet with.
Yeah. That's a good point. Of course, he's stepping away from an active role as a player, but I don't think he'll be out of the game for long. I'm not sure exactly what his plan is, but I suspect he'll get right back in rather quickly.
It's deep to right, and it is gone. David Ross with a home run. You can't retire. You can't. 6-0.
Have a night, big guy. Infield hit. Scored. Walked and scored. Now he gets to jog around the bases.
You're making a push in your 3-star selection. I don't even want to know what this is. You've got a fist bump. This is the hip bump. Swings and misses. So he's nearing, I believe, 100 home runs in his career. I think the goal this year had to be for David to hit 4. He's got 97 now. So 3 more would get him to 100.
He got one off of Jake somewhere along the way.
The 1-2 to Arrieta. And we'll do it again. The 29 homers here, by far the most at any ballpark for Ross.
Kind of rooting for Jake to either hit one out of here or pop up or something. No need to run the bases, save some energy.
This time Melville gets him.
Follow Cubs baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Strike on Fowler. Jason points out that is David Ross's first homer as a Cubs catcher. Last year he homered, but he was pitching.
That's right.
Remember?
That's correct.
We didn't know know the score. I told you we're in the 6th inning, and the Cubs starting pitcher has 2 more hits than the Reds team. You'd probably guess about 6-0. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
And you'd have a pretty good idea who was pitching, too.
Right. Ball 4.
Did you see the scoreboard stumper they put up there?
No, I missed it.
Name the 6 players to win the Rookie of the Year award whose last name begins with the letter B.
Well, Bryant would be number 1. Hayward to center. That's Scott Shebler.
Another hard out for Hayward.
Did you get the answer yet?
No, I'm working. I got Bagwell.
Bagwell?
And then I had some. I haven't cheated yet. That'll
Billy
come soon
Williams?
enough.
Oh, that's his first name.
Did Harold Baines? Man?
Don't know.
I'm trying to think of George Bell, maybe.
Well, there's one of the answers. Braun.
Braun? Sounds good. They keep slinging these darts at the wall. Sooner or later we'll come up with it. Barry Bonds? Did Bonds win? I don't think Bonds won that award. I think it was Todd Worrell.
His name doesn't start with a B.
No.
Bryant with a base hit. He's 2 out of 4. Cubs have 10 hits in the ball game. The Reds have 0 as we play the 6th inning. Sixth time out of the first 16 games the Cubs have had at least 10 hits. Let's go through all the Astros guys. Was Berkman ever the?
No, I don't think Berkman. Bish, I don't believe so. And Baggy in '91. Yeah, if you're looking for B's, that's a good place to start. Ted Williams, Teddy Ballgame.
I think Ballgame was his official last name. Off of third, Suarez. And he missed it. And that ball did not get out of play. I don't know if he got a glove on it or not.
Yeah, a fan was reaching over to it, but no indication of fan interference.
Votes for Carlos Beltran.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might work.
I like it.
Swing and a miss. Looked like a change. It's 2-2. Rizzo heating up. It's 9-0.
Well, you talk about a quick stroke. That was pretty. That's the 4th home run of the night for the Cubs. This thing has turned into a real laugher. There's a Ford home run replay. Tap that front foot, go down and get it. Oh, just a flick of the wrist. He is so strong.
Jorge Soler with a bullet to left. Off the wall. He's got a double. This is the kind of night where a guy like Melville's just going to have to wear it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's one thing if you got a veteran guy out there who's nearing the end of his career and he's kind of been through it. And you say, all right, go out there and suck up some innings, take a beating for us. And it's tougher on a young kid.
He's already made 2 starts, going 4 innings and then 3 innings. This comes Mark Riggins, the pitching coach.
So he's stretched out. He's certainly capable of making a lot of pitches here tonight.
And that might be part of this conversation. Just keep battling, hang in there. We're going to need you to get a few more outs.
Don't get deflated. Keep competing.
Drew Hayes, just recently added to the Reds bullpen, is up. And again, this is the kind of night where you may need to bring in more reinforcements, depending on how much bullpen the Reds have to use.
This could be a position player night for Ryan Price. Ivan DeJesus Jr. pitching inning.
Nothing on Zobrist. And that's low. Again, in a couple of minutes on Comcast Sportsnet, we'll be sending you to Blackhawks pregame live. CSN Plus has this game in its entirety. And you may want to hang around. Ball 4. Ninth batter of the inning, and the only Cub without a hit. Russell's lined out 3 times.
Yeah, all the hits, and I've got at least 6 lineouts on my scorecard. I mean, this is a clinic these guys are putting on here tonight.
So let's see. The Cubs infield tonight. The catcher, the first baseman, the second baseman, and the third baseman all have hit home runs.
Oh my goodness!
Russell,
somebody's got to make the outs. He's killing the ball, and he's got nothing to show for it.
Hang with him, Addy. Well, it's 9-0. Ross and Rizzo with home runs. On the other side, Jake Arrieta has not allowed a hit.
Dear Chicago, let's take a trip out of Midway to your favorite international destinations. With love, Southwest.
Visit CSNChicago.com for great deals on your favorite team's merchandise. From jerseys and hats to customized shirts and more, get the latest trends for the Bears, Blackhawks, Bulls, Cubs, and Sox at the shop on CSNChicago.com.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this.
The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
I could get used to this.
Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
there's no going back. Lease the 2016 ES350 for $339 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Welcome back, 9-0. Arrieta here in the 6th inning facing Scott Schebler. Will be a pinch hitter, Jordan Pacheco, and then Cozart. Schebler flied to right in the 3rd. Here's the pitch.